This recording is targeting those instructors that are opting to not use the deep link, linking WileyPlus with Canvas, and so posting grades manually. However, it also will address issues of explaining WileyPlus in more depth. So it could also be used by instructors who want to know more about WileyPlus for the accounting courses. When you open up Canvas, this is what your course basically will look like. I want to make a couple of points. So let's click on modules, because that's usually how we access the WileyPlus. Now that there is a deeper link for all courses, you're going to see these 3 links to WileyPlus. So instead of one link and going into WileyPlus and seeing these 3 things, now these 3 items, students will access those directly in WileyPlus. So the Read, Study, and Practice, if you click on that, that will take you to the ebook. Also, the PowerPoint slides, the mass amount of video recordings, and all of those extra study items available to students. The WileyPlus Gradebook for assignments only in WileyPlus. So it'll take you to that gradebook, and then WileyPlus assignments. So now we have these 3 links. Now, if you are not using the deep link, those deep links have already been established in the course, so you're going to have to get rid of those. First off, one thing that you'll want to do, this WileyPlus assignments, notice it is not published, it's not in green. You will want to publish that for your students. So you just click on that and notice now it is published. So you do need to make that available to your students. We'll also, though, will need to get rid of all of the WileyPlus assignments in Canvas. So this chapter 1, these recommended videos, this chapter 1, chapter 2 assignment, because those have a deep link. Now, let me just hold off there. You may choose to leave the recommended videos. That's up to you. However, these assignments with these points are already linked into the gradebook in Canvas, so we have to eliminate that and get rid of those. So let's go to assignments over here on the left-hand side. Click on it, and the assignments will open up. And you probably already, have an understanding. You probably are not using these discussions because it's the online course that's copied over for us in the face-to-face classes. So, you have to delete the discussions. You can do that by clicking on here and choose delete. I'm not going to do that right now because I actually using this for a demonstration and don't want to delete it from this actual course. But if you delete this, all of this will go away, and it also will go away from your gradebook. So you edit the Canvas gradebook by coming into assignments. So again, if I delete these, it will also delete it from the gradebook. Let's go down here. These are not WileyPlus assignments, so I can leave that extra credit if I want to. If you don't want to offer out the extra credit, delete those. But let's go to, let's say, chapter 4. Assignment, and if I want to delete that, then I just choose delete and I get rid of it. And it hang on a minute. Okay, I'm back. I think I may have hit a wrong button, but when I click on this, highlight and choose delete, this screen will come up. Are you sure you want to delete this assignment? And I will click OK, and it will be gone. Okay. Now, once you do that, then I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to actually delete it. And so once I do that, all of this will be gone. And so then I'm going to have to add the assignments, so those will be put in the gradebook. So again, this will empty out, and then you have to create your own assignments. So I don't know about you, but I actually, because my Parkville class is 16 weeks long and we meet 3 times a week, I break out the assignments. So chapter 1, I may have a part 1 assignment. Even though they're 15 points, I forget what it's worth, but it might only be worth 6 of the 15. And then, you want to set a due date, whatever that might be. Choose that and hit save. And so now I have chapter 1, part 1. And then I could add another one. I can spell Chapter 1, Part 2. Let's say that's the other 9 points to total 15. And I set a due date maybe for Monday for that. And I hit save. Okay, so now I've added the 2 assignments. Notice they still total the 15 points. And then to publish them, I just click on that and now they're published. And once they're published, they will be in the grade book. So let's go over to the grade book. Let's see if we can find those. Now, theoretically, recall you would have deleted, as a face-to-face class, you won't have these discussions, so you probably will have deleted that. Okay, so let me scroll over. So here comes the WileyPlus, and again, these would be gone, right? You won't see those because you would have deleted those. And what will replace it is whatever you choose. If you're breaking it up, Chapter 1, Part 1, or Chapter 1, Part 2. But you want to be sure, even if you do not break them up and you want to leave it as, 15 points for Chapter 1, 15 points for Chapter 3, etc., you still need to delete this particular assignment because it is deep linked with WileyPlus. And again, so it's going to mess it up. Students will not, you don't want them clicking on the link here in Canvas and going to WileyPlus, or it's going to come up here if you don't get rid of this. So you do want to get rid of those. Okay, then other things. Let's go back to our course. Let me widen the screen here. Now, for me, when I'm teaching my face-to-face course, the only thing I use Canvas for are really 3 things. I like to make course announcements, so I use the announcement. If I want to create a new one, I would click on this and create an announcement. So the announcements, I show students to click on modules, and now, I want them to see these 3 links. So if they want the ebook, they click here. Or if they want the PowerPoint slides or whatever, study tool in WileyPlus, read, study, and practice. If they want to see the WileyPlus gradebook, or if they want to go to their assignments, they click on these 3 things. So I leave that there. I use the grades, and that's it. So really, for my face-to-face class in Canvas, it serves 3 purposes for me. The WileyPlus links here in the first part of the module, announcements, and grades. So I want to get rid of everything else. I don't really need all of this Unit 1 because I'm going to tell students what they need to do and when. So you can go in here and you can just delete it. I don't want to actually do that right now because I don't want to mess up my course that I'm demonstrating. But if I want to remove that whole Unit 1 module, just delete it. And likewise for Unit 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or if you or perhaps you don't want to delete all of it. Maybe you just want to delete the overview. Maybe you want to leave, if you're assigning the extra credit, you might want to leave this video that shows them students how to do the Excel for Chapter 1 assignment. You may want to leave these links to the WileyPlus, read, study, and practice, the recommended videos. That's up to you because when we go to WileyPlus here in a little bit, I'm going to show you how to actually assign those. So you could leave them here because there are no points. It doesn't matter that they're deep linked. There are no points for those. Or you can delete them. It just isn't going to matter. But you definitely need to delete these links. So, you definitely want to get rid of the Chapter 1 and 2 assignment as well as this discussion because for the face-to-face classes, we're not using those. Okay, so you'll want to delete a lot of things out of the course so the students don't see it. Okay, so let's look at how do I go to WileyPlus and make assignments. So I'm going to click on the WileyPlus assignment link. It has 2 links actually for some reason that we click in Canvas and we go over to WileyPlus. And your first time in this My Assignments, nothing's going to show up because you shouldn't have any assignments in there yet. I'm not sure about those of you that have been teaching, I think actually your previous assignments probably will show up here. If you haven't been, you're going to see like what I've got here, no assignments. So you're going to need to go to the assignment bank and select assignments. So notice I have already narrowed this down here. And you could narrow it down to only other instructors and apply the filter. I'm going to leave it at the 552, and I'm actually going to sort it by source. But I don't want just 50. I want all of them sorted by source and show me all of them. So show all. And once I do that, it's going to, you know, we actually have individual instructors that you can see as owners of those. But I actually want to find the park admin. So on your keyboard, hit the key Control and F simultaneously. So Control Find. So the key, Control F. Hit that. And then I can search. And I'm going to enter in that search park. And now I can see, you know, I've got this yellow over here. This is showing me where all the park admin assignments are. Now I'm assuming you don't want the deep link because you want to modify the assignments. So I'm going to go down. Let's start and find. I'm going to kind of scroll down. I scrolled too much. Let's find maybe chapter 1. So notice I can scroll and it can tell me where in all of this I'm at. So I know chapter 1 needs to be up higher. So I can go to chapter 1. And here again, I can assign these recommended videos. Likely there you just want to assign the original, so that's easy enough to do. But if I want to assign this chapter 1 assignment, modify and use copy. I find adjuncts do this for a variety of reasons. So copy of chapter 1, description, and here's all of the chapter 1 assignment. And then, you know, set the policies. So this labels you some of the policies that were set in the original assignment. I can show them that. So here, after I can show student scores and answer feedback after each attempt. Question attempts, typically, you know, 3 is kind of a norm. After the first attempt, reduce score. That's if you want to give partial credit for late submission. Show the link to the text. We always want that available. Show entire solution. Yes, after the 3rd attempt. Show the answer only after 3rd attempt. And show list of accounts always visible. So we want to leave those settings. Values for each attempt stay the same, but each student gets different values. Some instructors don't like the students having different values, so they leave it at static. Values stay the same for every attempt and every student. So that way, every student has the same set of numbers, and the numbers stay the same for each attempt. Okay, then finalize the assignment. It's graded. If you allow late submissions, for me, I don't. I allow students to view the assignments and assistance so they can see the answers and solutions after the due date. If this was an exam, I would click on here, set a time limit, you know, 75, 80, 85, 90 minutes. It's not, so I'm going to uncheck that. And then click on show. You definitely want to allow printing for students so that they can print the homework out and work it manually first. And then assign it. As well. Okay, I think I may not have hit something correctly when I hit assign there, but it does give me opportunity to demonstrate once I've gone over here to my assignments. So we were in the assignment bank, and then we edited, modified, and edited chapter 1 assignment, and then I clicked on my assignments, came over here and clicked on my assignments, and I can see it here. So I can see that it's scheduled. Actually, I see it's scheduled for today, so I think I made that mistake earlier. seeing that it's scheduled. Let's go in. So what if I do that? What if you do make a mistake? You can go in and easily edit the availability. So I can go in and change the date. I'm actually even going to make this due a little bit earlier. You can see my time today. And let's say this is going to be due on Friday at midnight. Or I guess that would actually be noon, wouldn't it? Let's change that, because if you do noon or midnight, that often confuses students. So I tend to like to use maybe like 11:45 or something like that at night. Okay, and then I can assign that. And once we do that, now we can see that it is active. So students are going to see that. Okay, now another feature in WileyPlus is the student view. So if I want to see, did this really get assigned for students and what's it going to look like for them, I can go over here. Here's my class, click on Go, and I can see there's one assignment and then the due date. So as a student, this is what I see. Now, some of you like to actually use this student view because you use it in class and you use it as part of your lecture. Now, I do want to point out something. You do want to show students that they can print a blank copy of the entire assignment, just not each individually, the whole thing by clicking here. And so you can see it prints out. I've kind of taken to sort of making this a handout sometimes in class, or at least parts of it, and then I might work a problem like here, complete this balance sheet in class so it will actually look just like it will in WileyPlus for students. So that's an option, printing that out and handing it out in class as a demonstration. Obviously this sort of thing you wouldn't want to do that for, but the quantitative problems you might, and then especially if you use different problems, number sets. So that's one possibility. But anyhow, definitely want to let them know they can print it out, work it manually, and then all they have to do is go in and insert numbers in WileyPlus. Okay, so we can see that, and then when we go to next, students would choose, various things, and I'm just not even reading this. I'm just going to click on some things because I want to show you something a little bit later. So maybe luckily. Notice there will be a link to text. Let's go to another one of these. I just want to point out, here there will be a show list of accounts. So this alphabetically shows students account names, so they don't have to go back to the book and look at that. This link to text, if they click on that, this will take them back to the ebook. So notice they can read through various things in the ebook. It's supposed to be around that topic. And if there is a video, you can click on, looks like there are two here, which is odd, but they can click on the link to the video, and a video that pertains to that particular problem will come up. Now, I will acknowledge, at least for this edition of the textbook, the videos, some are better than others. When you see, usually if they're that purple and green, they are a newer video and tend to be fairly good, actually rather good. Sometimes there's some that are older and students don't find them quite as useful. But anyhow, this will show students how to work that problem. And of course, this is a part level submission, which means they get 3 attempts. So here they go through, we know we start with revenues, they would have to put in a dollar amount, then we have expenses, and they would list different things, and then finally at the bottom should be net income, and they can submit it 3 times. And after each submission, what's in green is accurate, what is in red is not, so it identifies to students what they need to look at. They'll get 3 submissions. Let's just do a second one. And then a third one. And when they don't get it the 3rd time, they can see the answer. So now a new icon shows up, or new button, and now they can see the answer. So they have now they can see net income, $3,800. And then that also opens up the second part, which is the statement of retained earnings. And of course, they need to have the video, they need to know net income for that. Okay, so let's go back and get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the instructor view, and we'll look at some things here. Also, if you want to print, well, you probably don't really care to print this particular assignment, but if this had been an exam and you want to print out the exam, some of you for the final, because we all administer the same final exam, except we use question pools for it. So if you want a paper copy of the final exam, you can go over here. So go to Properties. Notice I clicked on Properties back on the prior screen. Let me do that again. So I would go over to View Properties, click on that, and then the assignment will come up. And again, for the comprehensive final, many of you print it out for students. So you just go to the bottom here, print. I can print with answers, print without answers. The only caution I want to give you is that when you print without, each of these will be scrambled. It'll be the same questions, but it will scramble the answers. So you do want to be careful when you print the one with answers. The A, B, C, D are not in the same order as the multiple choice A, B, C, D without answers. So just heads up on that when you're using it for an answer key. Okay, so we're in WileyPlus. I want to go back to Canvas, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm back here. I just wanted to show you that also in Canvas, when you go to Files, there will be information for you about the course, so faculty-only files. If you are face-to-face and you want to administer paper exams, the unit exams are here. There are two versions of Exam 1, Exam 2, and Exam 3. And again, these are only the unit exams. The final, comprehensive final exam is in WileyPlus, but you do not have to have students take the exam in WileyPlus because you can print the final exam just like I showed you, a minute or so ago. Also, in Canvas is information about assessment. So there's a memo telling you what you need to do, and there should be an Excel spreadsheet in here as well for you to enter your student outcomes. We do not gather assessment data every term, so you want to be, pay attention. This course assessment rotation will tell you for Accounting 201, when are we collecting data. So we collect data, oops, I put Fall 2 there, didn't I? So Fall 1, and Spring 1, we collect for Accounting 201. But if you were Fall 2 or Spring 2, we do not collect data for 201. It would be the second course. Over here and close out. And then lastly, you will find course developer notes also in Files. So if this is your first time, or you're fairly new to teaching the course, here's all sorts of information about the course. Also, there are links if you have trouble with WileyPlus. Or here's Wiley resources. Here's WileyPlus support. Here's a phone number for you only. This is not available. Do not give this to your students. But if you have a question that this WileyPlus support doesn't answer for you, you can call Wiley directly and ask your question. Also, in the appendix is information here again recommending, when I set up the assignments, how I set those up, 3 attempts, same values, etc., etc. So what those are set at. And then also for the exams, the settings for the exams. And then here's Q&A. Here's typical questions I've had instructors ask me about WileyPlus and answers for those. So there is that, and I actually have a part 2 for that. And the part 2 is actually, I'm working on it right now, updating it, but it's going to be this information about how to access WileyPlus in Canvas and how to use it within Canvas. And I will be updating that. This is the older one, but there'll be a newer version of it. And then lastly, let's go back to modules. I want to also look at the WileyPlus gradebook. So if I want to look at students' grades for assignments in WileyPlus, here's what I would do. Okay, well, just as well I made this mistake. I cannot have 2 WileyPlus windows open, so I'm going to stop there. I need to go back here and close out of it. Now when I go back to modules, so that probably is one sort of frustrating thing. I can only, either look at assignments or gradebook or read, study, and practice. I can't have all of those open simultaneously. Okay, so now I go to my gradebook. My course comes up. What do I want to look at? I've only got one assignment. Typically, I will search for all of my students, but I think I'm the only student in this particular course. So I come up. Remember, I had gone to Student View and had completed part of the first assignment. So I want to see, let's go see what Linda did. So I'm going to scroll down and I can see, actually, I didn't get hardly anything right. However, on problem 1, I got a little bit of it correct. So if a student has not submitted an answer, I can't, if I click on it, there's not going to be anything there for me to see. But if they have submitted an answer, so they might have a question about, a problem and ask you for help. So if they have submitted something, you can go in, click on it, and I can see what the student has done. So this shows me what the student did. Remember, I had only entered in these 3 account names. And then for us, even if the student hasn't entered submit 3 times, I can even, see the answer myself, providing easily quick guidance for me to give to the student. Okay. So there is that. Out of that. Other things, I can go in, let me see, a couple of things. I can extend it. So for one student, let's say they want us to extend the due date. This is sort of why I don't allow late students to turn it in late, although it just depends. You may find it easier just to allow, give students a penalty for turning things in late. I don't. So then if a student has a really good reason for needing something extended, I can go in here and I might extend the date, over the weekend for them. And then I just hit update. I think I hit that already. And it'll allow a little bit of time to do that. So then that will change the due date for the student. Here in a little bit, we'll see this will pop up February 29. Yep, there it goes. I can also reset the assignment. Resetting the assignment means it will delete all of the answers. So I might say, yes, I want to reset the assignment. I'm going to cancel that for right now because if I reset the assignment, it'll delete everything. I had one other thing I wanted to show you, and that is editing scores. So I might go in here and see, well, I really think this student, and I usually don't do it on the homework, but test I might. Here is their score. Maybe I think they should have gotten the whole 1.66. And I can go and submit, and that will change their score. So you can edit scores in WileyPlus and for a student as well. Okay, and then lastly, we extended the due date. If I reset it, yes, I know it's going to delete everything. I'm okay with that. So if I want to reset something, notice now there's no score, student starting from blank, as if they had not started the homework. So you could do this for homework. About the only time I ever have reason for resetting is an exam. Maybe the student's internet went down. Once in a while, WileyPlus will do something really strange on a student's exam, and I need to restart that student as well. So usually it's exams that I need to reset because of technology breakdown. Okay, so going back to the grade book. Of course, I don't have any score here now, but for those of you that are not using the deep link, then these points out of 15, you'll have to manually go back over here, into grades and enter those in manually.